Hey there, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I edit my videos. A couple of days ago, I did put a poll on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me on my Instagram, here's my Instagram. I did put a poll asking you guys whether or not you wanted to see how I record my videos or how I edit them. Majority of you guys wanted to see how I edit my videos. So I put another poll asking you guys whether or not you wanted to see how I edit my Instagram videos or how I edit my YouTube videos. The way I edit both of these are very different. Majority of you wanted to see how I edit my YouTube video. So for the sake of this video, I'm only gonna cover the basic thing that you need to know on how I edit my video. I won't be able to cover everything because it's gonna be a heck of a long video, so nobody have time for that. Don't worry, I will still cover it but on some other videos. So for now, let's just jump to the video. First thing you need to know, every time I wanted to edit a YouTube video especially, I mostly edit them on my laptop because I find it much more easier for me to edit. It's much faster, much more convenient, and you have a big screen so you can't complain. Another thing that you might need is earphones or headphones. I just use like standard headphones. You don't really need to be specific of what headphones you use. For the sake of this video, I'm not gonna use them because I still need to talk to you guys. So lastly, of course, a mouse. So those are the three main things that you need. Now we talk about software that I use. Actually, I use a lot of video editing software, but the ones that I use the most is Sony Vegas Pro. To me, it works really well and I find it much more less complicated compared to the rest of the editing apps that I use. Maybe because I've used this since 2007, so I've used Sony Vegas for more than a decade. I've been through all Sony Vegas versions, but right now I'm currently using Sony Vegas Pro 14.0. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open that up first. Okay, right now I've already opened my Sony Vegas. Before we start, I'm gonna briefly explain to you guys, once you open the app, what are the features that they have, and then secondly I will cover on how we are going to import the videos, how to cut the videos on certain areas, how to insert a music track, how to insert a text, how to use the transitions, video effects, and finally I'm going to teach you guys on how to render your videos into whatever format that you want. As soon as you open Sony Vegas, you go to File and then create a new project. This thing will pop out. It's going to determine what kind of project you're doing. Usually I would just leave this part on its own. What I would change is the frame rate. Frame rate is just your FPS or frame per second. Instead of like 29.9, which is 30 frames per second, I would just go to 59.9. It's actually 16 frames per second. Go to full resolution rendering quality, changing this to the best, of course. What it means is like when you finish editing your video, you want to render it to the highest quality as possible, which is why I choose the best. Resembling mode, I would just usually disable it due to personal reasons. So after you have changed all of that, you can just simply click OK, and there we go. We have a blank canvas for our new project. The first thing I wanted to introduce to you guys is this area right here. So whatever you edit, this is where your screen is, where you're gonna see how the video looks like. Right down here is your editing track. This includes your video track or audio track or even your animation. This box right here is going to be most of your tools. You have your project media right here, which is whatever you export is going to show up here. Your explorer, if you want to import any videos, this is how you're going to import it. Transitions, of course, all your transitions are going to be here, which I will explain later. Your video effects, different types of effects you can use. Media generators is just basically like solid colors or gradient effects. Also your text will be right here as well. Right here we have audio master. This is just going to monitor your audio range. If it's a little bit too high up to a point that it shows red color, I think you should minimize the audio by sliding this up and down depending on how you prefer. I think that's all that you need to know for now. Go to your explorer, go to the folder where you wanted to edit the video is. So for me, let's just use a video of me with my sister, which is right here. So there we go, we have like a couple of videos that I wanted to edit. If you can't see the video right here, you can check it by selecting that video, press the play preview. Okay, untuk challenge ini kami akan buat challenge whisper challenge. So yeah, that's how you know what video you are going to import. Once you have selected the video that you want, you're just simply going to click and hold on that video, drag it down to the editing track. So then this icon will pop out. It's gonna ask you, do you want to set your project video setting to match this media? Well, usually I would say no, because sometimes I need to check on the, how should I say, the frames. It depends on you. The top part is going to be your videos. The bottom part is going to be your audio track. If you look at the audio track, you see like a flat line. Usually that just means that we're not talking. Let me give you an example. See, around this range we are not talking at all. By the time you see this wave, that means we already start talking. So let me play it for you guys. Okay, untuk challenge ini kami akan buat challenge whisper challenge. Actually, I wanted to upload this video, but because of the things we talk about in this video is quite sensitive, so I decided not to. Wherever you see a flat line, that's where you want it to remove, because most of the time you're just not talking. So why do you need to include that? For this area, I'm just simply going to like cut the video from here or split the video from here. You could just right click on split, or just simply press S on your keyboard. So cut that out wherever you want the video to end. For instance, I want to end it somewhere. Basically, the other person needs to maybe here. When you see that flat line again, that's where you want it to remove. I'm gonna cut this area out, so delete it. So yeah, if you click on this thing right here where it says auto ripple, for instance, if I deleted this without turning on the ripple, then it would just stay that way. But if you switch this on and you deleted this, the track right here is going to automatically drag itself to wherever you have deleted it. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't suggest you to have this on, just simply because it might gonna disrupt your video editing if you're not used to it yet. So yeah, you need to analyze your video wherever you set a lot of ums or you know, when you're thinking. You want to remove that part as well, so that you can make the video look much more smoother. So let me show you how that looks like. When the other person needs to put on the headphone onto the head, and the other person needs to speak. Alright, so right there we have another flat line we need to remove, because if you don't remove that, it's just gonna sound like this. Speak, and then see, it's like there's a delay in talking right there, so you wanted to remove it. I'm not gonna edit the whole video, I'm just gonna show you guys how this works. But once you have selected all the videos that you wanted and cut off unnecessary stuff that you don't want in the video, now we're gonna move on to transitions. In some part of your video in which you need transition to make the video looks nicer, then go to the transition tab right here. They have a couple styles, so choose whatever you like. For this video, I'm just gonna choose push. This is one of my favorite transition. It's simple. So what you're gonna do is select the style that you want. For instance, I'm gonna choose push left. Click and drag that transition effect in between the two videos that you want that transition to be. Let it go right here. It's gonna automatically create like a merge, and this item will pop out, so it's gonna show you the styles. But like I said, if you're a beginner, you don't really need to, but you can play around with this if you want to spend time with it. But yeah, simply click X for now. Now you could just check the transition. Put on the headphone. So that's how it looks like. If you find the transition is a little bit too slow for you, put on the what you can do is minimize this area. Right now it's at 1.0 frame per second, so we're gonna minimize it to 0.04 frame per second. So it's gonna look something like this. Put on the hat. It's much faster. Put on the hat. Put on the. This is just a tip. If you want to make your transition even more nicer, you can add some sound effects to it, which I will cover in some other videos. For now, I'm just going to teach you how to use the transition tab. And now I'm going to show you the video effect. If you find the video is a little bit too dark and you want to brighten it up, you could just find the brightness and contrast. Here they already have the presets, but you can adjust it. For instance, I choose brighter and more contrast. Drag that effect to the videos that you wanted to have that effect on. For instance, I wanted to choose here, so it's automatically adjusts that. But if you find that it's a little bit too harsh for you, you can tweak it a little bit. You can tweak the brightness right here. As you can see, it's changing. If you want it more contrast or less contrast, it's up to you depending on how you want it to be. But for me, for this video specifically, I don't really need the effects, so I'm not gonna apply any effect right now. I'm just gonna leave the video as is. But that's how you use your video effects. Now I'm gonna teach you how to insert a music. So if you want to add a background music, you can't use the audio track that was already here, but instead you have to add another audio track by simply clicking right click on the audio track right here, and you will click insert audio track. For me, usually I prefer the music background audio track to be on top, so that it's much easier for me to see. Now you want to minimize this area so that you won't feel confused when you watch me how I edit. Go back to Explorer and find wherever the music you have saved for the video. I'm gonna drag this right here. By the way, every music that I downloaded is usually a video music. If that's the case for you, you could just simply click on the video track and delete that. We'll just left with the audio instead. If you play the music as well as the video, let me show you. The music is a little bit too loud for you even to hear yourself talking. So to minimize that, you could just go to this audio track, slide your mouse pointer to somewhere you can see a finger or a hand. Click and hold and drag that down to maybe below 16 or 18, but I would usually go to 21 or 20. Now you play it back and see if you can hear both music as well as you talking clearly.
Ayan, kami buat challenge, whisper challenge.
So the audio is much more pulled together, but I'm gonna minimize it even more, maybe up to 26.
Ayan, kami buat challenge, whisper challenge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So it's much better now. You can hear yourself talking at the same time. You can still hear the music background, but it's not that overpowering to hear. So that's how you add a music track. Now I'm gonna teach you how to insert a text. You want to click on your video tab, right click on the video tab and insert audio track. So you will have a new audio track on top of your previous video track. This is where you can put other stuff that you wanted to put on top of the video. Go to media generators and you go to this area right here and scroll down until you see text. Any of this text is fine, but the difference is with this one, the text is mostly animated. Like you can see the action flip, bounce coming at you. If you want a text that's just stay as it is, no animation at all, you can go to legacy text. Right here we have different formats, so I'm just gonna choose this one right here. So once you drag that to the new video track, this thing's gonna pop out where you're gonna type in whatever text you wanted to include. Maybe I wanted to include my IG name. Type in my IG name. By Ayen. If you haven't followed me on my Instagram, I would suggest you to follow if you're interested to see makeup stuff. After you key in whatever text you wanted to input, then you can go ahead and change the fonts right here. You can just search whatever that suits your needs. So I'm just going to choose Microsoft Tile. They also have their sizing right here. You can range up the size depending on what you want. And also, like, you're not going to leave your text in the middle of your video, so what you can do is go to placement, and then this is where you can adjust the position of that text. So for instance, if I were to drag this down, the text is going to go down with wherever you position this pointer right here. So let's say I wanted to drag it right about here. As you can see, the color looks a little bit washed out since my sister is wearing white shirt. To tackle that, I'm gonna go to effects and draw outline. You can either draw outline or just add some shadow, but I'm just gonna show you both. If you draw outline, it will look something like, let me choose the color black. So it should look something like this. Add some shadow. So yeah, when you add some shadow, you can see the text comes more alive because you can see the separation between the text and my sister's shirt. Yeah, that's how you put text into your video. Once you're happy with how the text is looking, you can just simply click X, and this is where if you want the text to appear only in that period, then you could just drag up until that certain period only. But if you want the text to appear throughout your video, you can just drag this section across all of your videos. So it should look something like this. So I already introduced to you about the apps. Finally, after you've done everything, quickly play your video.
Untuk challenge ini kami buat challenge, whisper challenge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Once you're happy with how your video is looking, minimize all of this track first so you can see much better. Then you're gonna select the whole track, go to File, and click Render As. So once you click Render As, this icon is gonna pop out. Here is your destination folder. So once you save, the video is gonna go to that certain folder. I already created a folder for my videos. Now you're gonna rename their video, whichever it is. I'm just gonna put video test. This right here is going to be the format of the video. For me, I would usually either choose two of these because for Sony Vegas ABC/MVC is mostly MP4 and stuff. Depends on your needs. YouTube wise, I would just go to 1280 by 720 because this is the standard size for YouTube videos. I go ahead and select that and click render. Now you just need to wait for this finish rendering and you are set to go. So once the video has finished rendering to 100%, you can go ahead and click on open folder, and then it will show where the video is being uploaded. Then it will show you. So you can click on the video just to see how it's performing.
Untuk challenge ini kami buat challenge, whisper challenge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what whisper challenge is. Basically, the other person needs to put on the headphone onto their head, and the other person needs to speak. And then whoever is wearing the headphone, you have to say whatever the other person is saying. Okay, so translate.
So yeah, I think that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.